There's conceivably a way to achieve warp drive, but it's such super out-on-the-edge physics. Technically, you cannot go faster than the speed of light, but space itself can travel faster than the speed of light. That's what is meant by warp drive. Elon Musk has just made an announcement that could change the future of space exploration forever. It is theoretically possible to warp space itself, but you're warping space in such a way that space is moving. If this is possible, the amount of energy required to warp space is so gigantic that it boggles the mind. After years of speculation, rumors, and technological breakthroughs, Musk has finally revealed the new warp drive Starship, a spacecraft unlike anything the world has ever seen. The concept of propulsion is that space would almost appear flat. You would fold space over, intersect those 2 points, and be able to travel vast distances instantaneously. Could it really possess the capability to travel faster than the speed of light, just like in science fiction? The Holy Grail is a fully and rapidly reusable orbital system, converting matter to energy at rates we can barely conceive. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, has finally revealed something that sounds straight out of science fiction, a breakthrough that could change everything we know about space travel today. We dive into the details of SpaceX's newly announced warp drive Starship, an innovation that has left the entire world stunned. This announcement is nothing short of revolutionary, potentially rewriting the rules of physics and pushing humanity one step closer to becoming an interplanetary species. Let's explore what this warp drive is all about, how it works, what it means for the future of space exploration, and the potential impact on our understanding of the universe. From the very beginning, Elon Musk's vision has been clear: to make life multiplanetary. Since founding SpaceX in 2002, Musk has consistently talked about sending humans to Mars, creating a self-sustaining colony, and ultimately making human beings a multiplanetary species. However, traveling to Mars and beyond with current technology is extremely time-consuming and expensive. Musk has always known that to truly make this vision a reality, a groundbreaking propulsion system is needed, something that could defy our current understanding of speed, distance, and energy. Now, he believes that SpaceX has found that breakthrough. In a recent much-anticipated reveal, Musk finally introduced the world to the concept of the warp drive Starship. He explained that this isn't just about getting to Mars faster, this is about reaching the farthest corners of our galaxy in a fraction of the time previously thought possible. But how exactly does this warp drive work? How did SpaceX manage to develop such a revolutionary piece of technology? To understand this, we need to first delve into the science of warp drives and how they've been theorized until now. The idea of a warp drive isn't new. In fact, it has been a staple of science fiction for decades, popularized by shows like Star Trek Star. But the question has always been, could warp drives actually exist in reality? The concept of a warp drive is based on the idea of bending or warping spacetime itself to allow for faster-than-light travel. In normal physics, nothing can travel faster than the speed of light in a vacuum. However, warp drive theory suggests that instead of moving through space at speeds faster than light, a spacecraft could manipulate spacetime itself, contracting the space in front of it and expanding the space behind it. This would theoretically create a bubble around the spacecraft, allowing it to move faster than light relative to the space outside of the bubble. Imagine spacetime as a fabric. By pulling and pushing this fabric, the warp drive ship doesn't need to move faster than light, it merely shortens the distance it needs to travel. The theoretical foundation for such a drive was proposed by Mexican physicist Miguel Alcubierre in 1994, who showed through his equations that a warp drive could, in theory, be possible. The challenge, however, has always been the immense energy required to create and sustain such a bubble, an amount of energy far beyond our current technological capabilities. So, what has changed? What is it that SpaceX has discovered that could make warp drives a reality? Musk's announcement came with more than just words. It came with a comprehensive overview of the technology behind SpaceX's warp drive Starship. The key to this breakthrough lies in a combination of new advances in quantum mechanics, exotic matter, and zero-point energy. Firstly, let's talk about exotic matter. Exotic matter, unlike ordinary matter, possesses negative energy density. This negative energy is crucial for creating the warp bubble described in Alcubierre's theory. For years, physicists have debated whether exotic matter could even exist. Recent advancements at SpaceX, however, indicate they have managed to synthesize small amounts of this exotic matter in a controlled environment. Next, there's zero-point energy. Zero-point energy refers to the lowest possible energy that a quantum mechanical system may have. Musk has often hinted at SpaceX's research into zero-point energy, and in this announcement, he confirmed that they have successfully developed a prototype engine that utilizes zero-point fluctuations to provide the immense amount of energy needed for the warp drive. The combination of exotic matter and zero-point energy has allowed SpaceX to create what Musk calls the warp field generator. This device is the heart of the new Starship, enabling it to manipulate space-time around it, effectively reducing the distance to its destination. The warp field generator is powered by an array of new ultra-efficient fusion reactors, which provide the initial energy needed to generate the warp bubble. Once the warp bubble is established, the ship can ride it like a wave, moving through space at speeds faster than light. This technological leap represents the culmination of years of research, experimentation, and refinement by SpaceX's top scientists and engineers. It's not just a step forward, it's a giant leap for space exploration and the future of humanity. Musk's announcement didn't just reveal the technology behind the warp drive Starship. It also shared details about the rigorous testing that the ship has undergone. According to Musk, SpaceX has conducted multiple tests of the warp drive on a small scale, both on Earth and in space. The first successful test occurred in a vacuum chamber at SpaceX's research facility. A miniature version of the warp field generator was used to create a small warp bubble, demonstrating that it is possible to warp spacetime in a controlled environment. The experiment showed a measurable reduction in distance between 2 points inside the chamber, confirming the theoretical predictions of the warp drive equations. The next step was to test the drive in space. SpaceX launched a small unmanned test craft equipped with a scaled-down version of the warp drive. The craft was sent into orbit, where it successfully created a warp bubble and traveled a short distance at faster-than-light speeds. This test was a landmark achievement, demonstrating that the warp drive could function in the vacuum of space. But that was just the beginning. Musk revealed that SpaceX has conducted over a dozen additional tests in space, each with increasing complexity and duration. The final test, conducted just a few weeks before the announcement, involved a full-scale prototype of the warp drive Starship. This test saw the Starship travel to the outer edges of our solar system and back in a matter of hours, something that would have taken years with traditional propulsion methods. These tests have been closely monitored by international space agencies and independent scientists, who have verified the results. It's official, SpaceX's warp drive works, and it's ready for the next stage. Now that SpaceX has developed a working warp drive, the implications for space exploration are profound. The warp drive could solve one of the biggest challenges facing space travel, the vast distances between celestial bodies. With traditional rocket propulsion, traveling to even the nearest star systems would take tens of thousands of years. The warp drive, however, could make such journeys possible in a matter of days or weeks. Mars, which has been the focus of SpaceX's efforts up to this point, could now be reached in minutes. This opens up incredible new opportunities for exploration and colonization. Suddenly, the idea of a human settlement on Mars or the moons of Jupiter or Saturn no longer seems far-fetched. Travel to other star systems or even planets no longer seems like a distant dream, but rather a very real possibility. Furthermore, this technology has the potential to enable the exploration of exoplanets, which are planets outside our solar system that could potentially harbor life. Scientists have already identified thousands of exoplanets, but reaching them has always been considered impossible with current technology. The development of the warp drive changes this equation. Missions to exoplanets that would have taken thousands of years could now be completed within a human lifetime. Moreover, the warp drive could fundamentally change our understanding of the universe. Imagine sending probes to the far reaches of the galaxy, or even beyond, to explore phenomena like black holes, dark matter, and cosmic radiation in unprecedented detail. The data collected from such missions could revolutionize our understanding of physics, cosmology, and the nature of reality itself. In addition to space exploration, there are potential applications beyond this field. Elon Musk also touched on the potential applications of warp drive technology in other forms of transportation, potentially revolutionizing travel on Earth. For instance, this technology could be adapted for use in aircraft, allowing for ultra-fast travel between continents. Imagine flying from New York to Tokyo in under a minute. Such advancements would not only revolutionize the transportation industry but also bring the world closer together in ways we can scarcely imagine today. Furthermore, there are potential applications in fields such as communication and energy. If we can manipulate spacetime itself, it could open up new ways to transmit information instantly across vast distances or harness energy in ways we've never thought possible. Musk also mentioned the potential for this technology to be used in medical and scientific research. The ability to create and control warp fields could have applications in quantum computing, medical imaging, and particle physics, leading to breakthroughs in our understanding of the universe at its most fundamental level. The announcement of the warp drive Starship has sent shockwaves through the scientific community. While many scientists are excited about the potential of this new technology, there is also a healthy dose of skepticism. Some physicists are questioning the validity of SpaceX's claims, arguing that the idea of a warp drive is still purely theoretical and that the technology needed to create and maintain a warp bubble is far beyond our current capabilities. Others are concerned about the potential risks and ethical implications of using such technology, especially when it comes to human exploration of other planets. However, there are also many scientists who are cautiously optimistic. Dr. Michio Kaku, a renowned theoretical physicist, has praised the announcement, calling it the most exciting development in space travel since the Apollo moon landing. Kaku has long been a proponent of the warp drive concept and believes that SpaceX's breakthrough could be the key to making it a reality. Similarly, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson has expressed his enthusiasm for the new technology, stating that it could fundamentally change our understanding of space, time, and the universe. Tyson has emphasized the importance of continued research and experimentation to fully understand the implications of the warp drive and ensure its safe and responsible use. With the successful tests of the warp drive Starship, SpaceX is now preparing for the next phase of development. According to Musk, the company is planning a series of manned test flights to further evaluate the capabilities and safety of the warp drive technology. The first manned flight is scheduled to take place within the next year and will involve a crew of highly trained astronauts and scientists. This mission aims to test the warp drive in a series of increasingly complex scenarios, including long-distance travel and maneuvers near celestial bodies. In addition to these test flights, SpaceX is also working on building a fleet of warp drive starships. The goal is to have multiple ships ready for interplanetary missions within the next decade. Musk envisions these starships being used for a variety of purposes, from transporting cargo and passengers to other planets to conducting scientific research and exploration missions. SpaceX is also collaborating with international space agencies and private companies to explore the potential applications of the warp drive technology. Musk has expressed his desire to see a new era of cooperation and collaboration in space exploration, with countries and organizations working together to unlock the full potential of this revolutionary technology. Elon Musk's announcement marks a turning point in the history of space exploration. The development of the warp drive Starship has the potential to revolutionize our approach to space travel and bring us closer than ever before to becoming an interplanetary species. But what does this mean for the future of humanity in space? For Musk, the answer is clear: this is just the beginning. He envisions a future where humans live and work on multiple planets, exploring the farthest reaches of the galaxy and beyond. Musk believed that this future is not just desirable but necessary for the survival and growth of humanity. He has often spoken about the need to establish a human presence on other planets to ensure our long-term survival and mitigate the risks of existential threats such as asteroids, supervolcanoes, or even human-made disasters. The warp drive Starship represents a critical step toward this goal. By dramatically reducing the time and cost of space travel, it opens up new possibilities for exploration, colonization, and scientific research. It allows us to dream bigger, reach further, and push the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Elon Musk's reveal of the new warp drive Starship is more than just an announcement, it's a declaration of intent. It's a bold step toward a future where humanity is no longer bound by the limits of our solar system but instead reaches for the stars. The implications of this technology are profound, touching every aspect of our lives, from space exploration and travel to our understanding of the universe and our place within it. While there are still many questions to be answered and challenges to be overcome, one thing is clear: we are on the brink of a new era in space exploration. As we look to the future, the possibilities are endless. The dream of interstellar travel, of exploring new worlds and discovering the mysteries of the cosmos, is closer than ever before. And with visionaries like Elon Musk leading the way, there's no telling how far we can go. So buckle up, because the journey is just beginning, the future is here, and it's faster than light. It has always been a basic human desire to pursue technological advancements. One way this desire has manifested itself is the pursuit of doing things faster: faster computers, faster internet, faster mobile devices, the list goes on. Surely, there have been massive developments over the years in all of these areas. Computers today are nothing compared to those we had 2 decades ago, and the same goes for satellites and machinery. Cars today are 10 times faster than they used to be. But it's not just cars and satellites that have seen improvements. Perhaps the most incredible feat of humanity in terms of speed has been in aviation. Today, we have made planes that can fly faster than any bird on the planet. We also have jets like the F-35 that break the sound barrier. Think about the Concorde, for instance. It was the first plane to fly at supersonic speed, truly a milestone for aviation. This aircraft could move at 1,354 miles per hour, more than twice the speed of sound. Its incredible speed allowed it to make the trip from London to New York in 3 hours or less. But as fascinating as the Concorde and other modern fighter jets may be in terms of speed, they still lag behind what we use in space exploration. Our spacecraft are currently the fastest aircraft we have. You've likely heard of space rockets or even seen them in action. These machines represent our peak speed achievements. These machines can go as fast as 18,000 miles per hour. To escape Earth's atmosphere and enter orbit, you must reach at least 17,600 miles per hour. However, this speed requirement increases significantly when traveling from Earth to another planet, like Mars. For such journeys, you need to reach speeds of at least 25,000 miles per hour. This is why most probes that scientists send into space require an immense amount of thrust to reach their destinations. For example, the probe that orbited Jupiter from 1995 to 2003 traveled at a speed of 74 kilometers per second, which is over 266,000 kilometers per hour. That speed is mind-blowing, wouldn't you agree? Space probes achieve such incredible speeds thanks to their complex propulsion systems. For launches, agencies like NASA use a combination of liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen as fuel. Hydrogen, which has the lowest molecular weight, helps keep the rocket's weight minimal. When combined with liquid oxygen, it creates a highly effective yet lightweight fuel. Sometimes, aluminum along with an explosive is used to provide an extra boost, especially for heavier spacecraft. Before a probe is launched, the path is pre-planned, and calculations are made to determine how fast it needs to travel to reach its target. Once a spacecraft has been successfully launched and is far into outer space, the launch vehicle provides the major propulsion force and sets the craft on the correct path before disengaging. At that point, ion thrusters are used to propel the spacecraft in deep space. These ion engines use very light fuel but provide strong thrust, enabling the spacecraft to reach extraordinary speeds. Beyond propulsion, scientists also take advantage of the gravitational forces of planets and moons to boost or accelerate the spacecraft, thereby saving fuel. This is one reason probes like Voyager 1 and 2 have remained operational for over 4 decades. For navigation, small hydrogen thrusters are used to make minor flight adjustments, allowing these probes to maneuver through space. Currently, Voyager 1 is the fastest spacecraft we have, traveling at an incredible speed of 17 kilometers per second. While that may seem insanely fast, it's insignificant when measured on the cosmic scale. That's because it's still far below the speed of light. Many scientists and technologists dream of building something that can travel at light speed. Until that dream is realized, we may never be able to explore other star systems in our galaxy, let alone travel to distant galaxies in the universe. You've probably heard that interstellar distances are measured in light years. For example, the distance between our Milky Way galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy is approximately 2.2 million light-years. This means that if we could travel at the speed of light, it would still take 2.2 million years to reach Andromeda. This illustrates just how vast the universe is and why scientists are eager to develop light-speed travel. But here's an interesting question: has there ever been an aircraft reportedly faster than the speed of light? Surprisingly, yes. Several aircraft have been reported here on Earth to move at light speed, though none were man-made. There has never been a human-made craft capable of surpassing light speed, but numerous UFOs or UAPs have been reported to move at such astonishing speeds, even under extreme wind resistance. UFOs have long been a topic of controversy due to the strange features and capabilities they possess. These objects seem to lack visible propulsion systems, yet they can move effortlessly and in multiple directions. Even more baffling is the fact that they've been reported to travel at speeds exceeding the speed of light. One notable account comes from retired Navy veteran David Fravor, who testified during a U.S. Congress hearing in June 2023 about his experience with a UFO encounter. Fravor described an incident in 2004, when he was still a Navy pilot and commander of the F-18F Squadron. He recounted being alerted to a strange object, detected in the area, which was later referred to as the Tic Tac UFO. According to Fravor, operators had detected multiple anomalous aerial vehicles that didn't belong to the Navy. These vehicles exhibited seemingly impossible behavior, accelerating vertically into space and descending 80,000 feet in less than a second. No man-made aircraft can perform such a feat, even today. Fravor and his team observed the white tic-tac-shaped object for about 20 minutes before deciding to investigate further. As they moved in for a closer look, the object suddenly accelerated at an unbelievable speed, disappearing from sight. What made this encounter even more perplexing was that the object had no wings, thrusters, propulsion systems, or visible exhaust. Yet, it moved at a speed that Fravor still can't explain. Within a minute, the object was detected again, over 60 miles away from its previous position. During his testimony, Fravor admitted that the technology exhibited by this tic-tac object far exceeds anything we had in 2004, or even anything we could build in the next 10 years. His account matches many other UFO sightings, where objects appear to move at light speed, disappearing and reappearing instantly. This is what light-speed travel would look like. However, such speed could be deadly for humans due to the immense G-forces involved. Pilots who experience high-speed travel endure G-forces that cause immense strain on their bodies. The G-forces can cause muscle pain, vision problems, nausea, and more. While pilots are trained to handle these forces, they still try to minimize G-forces during missions to avoid blackouts or crashes. Given that modern aircraft, which only travel at the speed of sound, can cause such intense G-forces, it's hard to imagine what traveling at the speed of light would do. Many scientists believe it would be impossible for humans to survive such speeds, as the G-forces would literally tear us apart from the inside out. Yet, UFOs seem capable of traveling at these extreme speeds, without visible consequences. Adding to the mystery, recent testimony from David Grush suggests that these UFOs are piloted by extraterrestrial beings. Grush, a retired U.S. Air Force intelligence officer, made shocking claims during the 2023 UAP hearing. He disclosed that the U.S. government has been recovering non-human remains from UFO crash sites for decades. Grush's revelations, while controversial, provided significant support to the long-held belief that UFOs are alien spacecraft. Although Grush didn't provide physical evidence to support his claims, he assured the hearing that he could deliver more evidence in the right setting. He withheld sensitive information for fear of his safety but stated that he could guide Congress to the right individuals and data sources if given a private hearing. Grush's testimony not only fueled discussions about extraterrestrial life but also raised questions about alien technology adaptation. He suggested that the US government has been reverse engineering alien technology for years, trying to integrate it into our own systems, an assertion that aligns with claims made by Bob Lazar, a man who came forward in the 1980s, claiming to have been hired by the government to reverse engineer alien spacecraft. His story won public attention, but he has long been labeled a conspiracy theorist. However, some members of the public do believe his story, especially after whistleblower David Grush's testimony. And so, the big question is, have we somehow found a way to make aircraft that can move and navigate like UFOs? For now, no one knows. However, scientists have discovered a way to make an object move as fast as the speed of light, perhaps even faster than UFOs. In fact, if this hypothesis becomes a reality, we could have spacecraft that could travel 10 times the speed of light. How is this possible? Well, it's all thanks to a genius idea drawn from science fiction. I'm sure you've seen some movies in which a spacecraft accelerates and suddenly disappears into some kind of dimensional stream or bubble in which it travels at superfast speeds. In such movie scenes, the vessel could travel across galaxies or dimensions in just a few minutes or seconds to arrive at the needed destination. Scientists have long studied this seemingly impossible feat and have finally found a way to make this work in real life. You see, while it may be impossible to travel faster than the speed of light, it's possible to warp space-time like we see in the movies to enable the traveling vessel to do the impossible. Such a trip would still be very safe, as there would be no excessive G-forces to tear you apart. Einstein's law of relativity explains that traveling at the speed of light is impossible for objects that have a non-zero rest mass. So we will only be able to travel at light speed if we have an infinite amount of kinetic energy. But here's the thing, instead of focusing on increasing the kinetic energy of the object, it's a lot easier to warp the space around the object to enable it to travel faster. The hypothetical device that would make this possible is called a warp drive. The concept of a warp drive was first introduced by author John Campbell in his 1957 book Islands of Space Star. The idea was made more popular by the famous sci-fi movie series Star Trek Star. In the movie, humanity was exploring the deepest parts of the cosmos thanks to a specially made vehicle that employed the use of warp drives to travel faster than the speed of light. The The speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. Surely you would agree that it's impossible to accelerate to such speed without getting ripped apart. However, with the warp drive, all you would have to do is warp the spacetime with a velocity higher than the speed of light. In Star Trek *, for instance, the Starship could achieve a maximum warp velocity of 9,000 times the speed of light. Such a velocity would make traveling across stars and galaxies almost seamless. There's a vast space between planets and galaxies. Some galaxies are up to billions of light-years across. A light-year is approximately 9 trillion kilometers, so traveling at light speed just won't be enough for cosmic exploration. Ultimately, we would have to create vessels that can travel at several times the speed of light if we are to explore faraway parts of the cosmos. Is this really possible? Can we truly achieve such remarkable travel speeds in reality, or is it just a thing of fiction? The scientific community strongly believes that it is possible to travel faster than light, especially using the warp theory. For scientists, this is just another hurdle to cross, another breakthrough to unlock. It's no different from other seemingly impossible feats that we've achieved, like the light bulb or wireless communication. For now, the major hurdle is creating a functional warp drive. Physicists, theoretical scientists, and engineers are all working together to find a way to make the warp drive a reality. Just so you know, this concept of warping is actually based on some real laws of physics. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, the universe is a flat sheet of space-time. Any object with mass exerts a warping effect on it. The evidence of the distortion of space-time is experienced as gravity. In other words, even you are creating a small warping effect on the universe, and this is why you feel the effects of gravity. In 1994, a Mexican scientist named Miguel Alcubierre used Einstein's theory of relativity to develop a hypothetical model, a way to bypass traveling at the speed of light. He revealed in his paper that this could be done by expanding spacetime behind the spacecraft and contracting the spacetime in front of it. He also postulated that doing this would be possible with the help of something called the Alcubierre drive. Basically, this drive would expend a tremendous amount of energy that would contract spacetime in front while expanding it behind, thereby creating some kind of bubble. Inside the bubble, everything would seem normal, like the vessel is traveling at a proper average speed, but outside the bubble, observers would notice a strange warping or tremendous acceleration faster than the speed of light. And so, although the basic rules of physics would still be at play inside the bubble, the vessel would be traveling at lightning speed across the universe. Traveling inside such a space bubble will mean zero gravity effects since the distortion caused by the vessel would be unnoticeable. Thanks to the warping of the surrounding spacetime, you wouldn't experience any g-forces or any of the other things you would normally suffer while traveling at light speeds. It would just be like normal travel, even though the bubble is hurtling through time and space at mind-boggling speeds. Alcubierre suggests that using his theory, it would be possible to travel at speeds 10 times the speed of light. It's quite impressive, considering the fact that it may be physically impossible to beat the speed of light. The entire concept entails traveling in an enclosed ring of negative mass across the universe. However, traveling at 10 times the speed of light won't suffice for interstellar travel. We'd have to create something similar, or exactly like, the warp drives used in the Star Trek movies to enable us to travel at 7,000 times the speed of sound. But even if we manage to create a warp drive, there's still another problem: the amount of energy that will be required to power such a drive so it would bypass the light barrier would be unthinkable. Some members of the scientific community have estimated that propelling a spaceship beyond light speed would need 100 times the energy contained in massive planets like Jupiter. Such energy far exceeds what you get from atomic bomb blasts like the Hiroshima event, and so you can imagine what it would mean to find such an energy source and finally harness it to power a warp drive. It's a huge problem scientists are still scratching their heads over. But it's not the only problem. There will be a requirement for negative energy if the concept of contracting and expanding spacetime on opposite ends is to truly become possible. Scientists have still not found a way to meet this negative energy requirement. So until that happens, our dream of having a functional warp drive to power spaceships beyond the light barrier may just be impossible. However, scientists and researchers aren't relenting. All hands are on deck to overcome the numerous hurdles so we can finally achieve the long dream of exploring the farthest parts of the cosmos in manned vehicles, just like we see in the movies. But then there are some conspiracy theorists who believe that certain secret government agencies may have already found a way to travel across galaxies with the help of alien technology. In any case, there's no proof that humanity currently has the technology to travel across galaxies, but at least now we know it's possible. It's no longer a question of how but a matter of when. Hopefully, we may get to see the first functional warp drive in our lifetime.